Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is the 18th day of January, 2026. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Well, let's get into the rune bag here and draw our first rune from the Elder Futhark, the above side of things for the significator of the reading. Well, when one will end up in my hand. There we go. We have Rado. Well, we've had Rado in a while. Rado is the fifth rune of the Elder Futhark, and it's essentially rider and horse. It's that integrated motion that a rider has with this horse, similar to that integration with others, integration with what's going on around you. It's partnership. It's also considered soul journey in a way. So the partnership would be between the soul and the ego, essentially. Harmonious movement, again, rhythm, integration, cycles, also the process you take over the goal. And so we'll start out here today with the idea of integration and process over goal. We'll just combine those two and see where we go. If we have to, tweak it a little bit, then we will when we get the cards. But let's take a look at the Geomancy rune. See, there's water. Which one is this? That's fire, air. And this will be earth. So you're looking at albus. Now, albus and its complement rubeus. Albus, of course, would be the wise individual, the sage, higher clarity. Rubeus would be a misuse of force. So let's see what we have here. This is albus. And so you're looking, this would be the ego side of things. So, you're going to want to take that higher vision in terms of the integration you have with others today or over this next week, and looking at the process over the goal. I mean, the goal is important, obviously, because it's kind of like the mandate of something or the ultimate objective. But how you get there matters. And you're going to want to do it with wisdom and clarity. And that is not reactionary. That's not ego-based. It's going to be taking a step back and looking at something in a more realistic way, preferring harmony and true partnership over, being at odds with one another, trying to assert your own view as being the only one that matters, that sort of thing. You want to avoid something like that. Let's go ahead and look at the cards, though, and see if we can expand on that or if we have to change gears. When runes have a variety of meanings, that's a good thing, but sometimes it takes looking at the cards too to see, okay, well, where is this all going? And are we on the right track yet? Because I view the tarot cards as giving the details of all of that. How's that going to play out? What's it going to look like? Will they be soul archetype cards, with the major arcana cards that we pull? Or, will it just be the small cards or the interesting court cards where you never really know about what's going on there? Let's see. And of course, I spoke too soon. We have two cards from the suit of wands, the Queen and the Knight, and then we have the Magician. So there's not going to be a numerology for the court. We do have a 1 for the Magician. 1 and 5 is 6. And so let me just jot that down here. So we have a 6 numerology for the whole reading. Now 6 is going to look like, and this is going to align very well with Rado, the shared path that you're on, integration, harmony, the journey you take together, and valuing how you do that along the way to reach that shared goal. Magician, of course, is going to be about manifestation. The Queen of Wands is going to be about an older woman in authority who's talented and successful. Now, maybe you emulate those. She's strict and she's generous and all of that. Maybe you want to emulate that. Or it could be a woman that's coming into your life to assist you, because there's guidance and assistance associated with the 6 as well. The Knight of Wands, of course, is going to be very passionate and on a quest and an adventure, and very action-oriented, willing to take risks, but at the same time, you don't want to get ahead of yourself there. So let's look at the cards. and I'll just do them in the order I pulled them. Here you have the Queen of Wands. Again, she's an older woman in authority, so you may want to use your own authority to and leadership potential, or find someone who maybe a woman that is got a lot of experience, that is going to give you the benefit of that experience in helping you move forward together on this shared path with others, this integrated partnership. Or maybe you might make a partnership with somebody like that. That it could be saying that, and that then allows you to manifest things in a way that draw higher awareness into physical reality, like the magician does. I've said this before, that, and I like to show the progression of cards, even though that might not be in the reading. You start out with the Fool, which I view as the soul taking its leap into physical reality. And whereas the magician, the Fool will then manifest its physical reality through the magician, drawing from higher awareness into physical reality. That lemnis gate above, which is the figure 8, it basically is talking about this cyclical nature of life. You see also cycles in Rado. Using the 4 elements as depicted by the 4 suits of the tarot here: the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle. You see all the newness here on the ground below him with the roses and the purity of the lilies. You also see them up there. So whatever you're going to be doing here, you're going to manifest that from a higher potential, basically. You look at the Fool as having undeveloped potential, and then taking that with the knapsack of all the things that the Fool is going to bring with him, that individual is going to, when it manifests as an individual, is going to bring all that stuff into physical reality that it's learned in other incarnations. And then with the High Priestess, which is the card 2 in the major arcana, you're looking then at the integration of the soul within that, and the subconscious realm, and intuition, and the divine feminine within, and all of that. And then in card 3, which is the Empress, she gives birth to creation. So that's kind of as the soul comes into reality, those are the 3 cards: the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Empress, that define that triumvirate or triplicity of experience that defines what that soul is going to give birth to. Okay, so with the Magician as part of this reading, you've got part of that process here. And again, if you want to manifest knowledge from higher wisdom, which we have with Albus, then that is what you're going to manifest, that is going to reflect that. And again, it doesn't mean that you're at odds with whoever you're working with or connecting with. It means that you're finding some way to integrate together this week to manifest something really great for yourself, or for the group, if it's a group of people. And then again, we have the Knight of Wands, who's willing to take the risks. It's interesting, you see here the 3 pyramids. You see them over here too, right here with the Queen of Wands. Generally speaking, there's a spiritual aspect to that. The whole idea of being in the Holy Land and having some spirituality about yourself. So, and again, also embracing higher knowledge or higher wisdom when you're manifesting whatever you're going to manifest this week. Again, how you get there matters. It's not about being at loggerheads with people or arguing or trying to take control of anything. It's about finding that rhythm, finding that harmony where everyone works together, however many people that is. Maybe it's just you and somebody else. And again, it could be somebody that you engage with that maybe wants to partner with you. There could be that little outlier there. But you want to be careful how much of a risk that you're willing to take. If it makes sense because of what you're doing, then fine. But otherwise, you're going to want to be a little bit careful and not let your adventure spirit or your passion get away from you. So in a sense, I think that the Knight is the cautionary tale for this next week. And I think that as long as you keep things in check and make sure that whatever you're doing is integrated and in harmony with everyone else you're working with, then I think you're going to do okay with it, because you're drawing that awareness down from higher wisdom instead of it being a reactionary thing alone. That's the thing about the cautionary tale with the knight and the idea of risk. Some risks make sense to take. Others, you have nothing really. It's like you don't really have anything there to fall back on if the risk is not going to pan out. And so you want to make sure that especially if you've got more than one person that you're working with, where things are not just impacting you in terms of how you manifest something, how you make something happen during this next week. If it's going to impact other people, you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And that's part of the process over the goal. You stay unified, you stay in harmony together, you get a rhythm together that you're working in, and you make sure that whatever decisions you make, everyone's on the same page with it. Because again, risks can be interesting to take, and it can be very exciting, but you have to be careful because it may upend the whole thing. So I think the hit I get off the Knight of Wands is that it's kind of a cautionary tale. It's not that you don't want to move forward with an adventure spirit. It's just that sometimes you can get carried away with it, and you're not really looking at the flags, the red flags that are coming up around you as you're doing it. It's like you tend to ignore it. It's like, no, I really want to do it this way, and because it's going to be cool, well, not necessarily. And so that, I think, the Knight today is the cautionary tale for the reading. And again, I think that Albus and Rado integrate well together. I think that you're drawing down higher wisdom in terms of what you're doing and not letting your ego get away from you, essentially. And you're trying to do things in clarity, as opposed to taking unnecessary risks that could just, again, upend everything you're doing. So I think that's it. Just again, you may either partner with the Queen, who is someone who's the Queen of Wands, represents that, or that could be somebody that you and the others you're working with reach out to for guidance and assistance. And to try to glean whatever you can from that individual's success and failures as well, what worked, what didn't. And so the Queen may represent a really valuable resource, or it could be part of the partnership you're establishing either with one other person or with multiple people to go ahead and try to create what your vision, I guess you could say, for this week. So I think it's a positive thing. And with the 6 numerology, again, that's shared path. It's guidance, it's assistance, it's empathy, a little bit of protection there, and harmony. And so with that underlying numerology for the whole reading, I think that you want to make decisions that support that sort of thing instead of letting the high-risk behavior get the better of you. So that's it. Anyway, everything's up over there at the blog at Stepping Aside. The web address there is imsteppingaside.com. Check that out for the forecast and the general astrological outlook. And there's a quick reference section on where the moon is and where the planets are and things like that. And then a little bit of magical correspondences if you're so inclined to work a little magic this week. Align those energies when you're casting your intention to the universe. So again, thanks for watching, and come back again next Sunday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.